I'm going to go over everything you need to know about random enchants, the true class of the classless WoW server, Project Ascension. Boom. Intro. Good. Random enchants, or REs, is how you truly make your character unique. Random enchants are very similar to the enchanting system where they go on pieces of gear, except you can put enchants on every piece of gear. So these little things down here are enchants. Each enchant customizes your character in a very unique way. Some more so than others. Some will completely change the spells associated with them to truly create a unique build. This is the core factor of Ascension. You can put on one legendary enchant, and this is kind of where you're going to want to focus your build and your character around. So what I like to do when I'm creating a new build is you hit N here, go to Enchants, look through all of these enchants in the game, and find one you like and focus your character around that enchant. Next, you get access to 3 epic enchants. These epic enchants are going to further customize your character and the spells that you use. So for instance, on this character, I'm using kind of a lightning build, grabbing lightning discharge and lightning mastery, but not here to go over which ones are good and bad. Just know that you can have 1 legendary and 3 epics, and then as many blues and greens as you would like, with the restriction that you can only have 3 of the same enchant. So for instance, this lightning overload, I can only have 3 of maximum. So I can get it up to a 9% chance total to trigger this talent. If that's not the case, there will be specific text saying that this enchant does not stack. So like this one, precision, it's gonna increase my chance to hit by 2%, but I cannot get 3 of these. Holy power here also has that same text. If it doesn't have that text, you're good to stack it up to 3 times. Before going further into Mystic Enchanting, we need to understand the 3 currencies surrounding enchanting. First one being Mystic Runes, which are going to be used for reforging gear, and I'll get into reforging after this. Then we have Mystic Extracts, which are used to extract a Mystic enchant from a piece of gear, destroying that piece of gear in the process and adding it to your known collection. And then Mystic Orbs, which is the currency that allows you to put your known enchants on your pieces of gear. The cost of putting enchants on your gear is dependent on the rarity of the enchant. So for instance, legendaries cost 25, epics cost 10, rares cost 6, and uncommons here cost 3. You gather mystic orbs through a bunch of different content and quests, so you're not really going to run out of these. Your Mystic Enchanting experience here goes by levels. You can see I'm level 222 here. When you complete this bar, you're going to get a Mystic Extract. Once I fill that bar up, I'm going to then be able to extract a piece of gear into my known enchant. And speaking of experience, this experience bar, in order to rise it the fastest, it's going to be based on reforging items. As you can see, the cost of this reforge, if I were to reforge my Will Breaker here, is 1 mystic rune. So if I want to reforge my weapon here, I'm going to get more experience here than reforging, for instance, this insignia. If you're looking to level up your mystic enchanting and get those mystic extracts, make sure you do it on the highest item level piece of gear that you have. Forging is going to have a chance to get not only your known enchants, but any enchant in the game. So going through, you see I get Hasty Feint, Taunting Vampiric Touch, and an epic here, which is cool. You can use this process of reforging to find enchants that are higher value, and you can make some gold off of this. What I like to do is go to the PvP vendor, buy the level 15 trinket, and reforge until you hit something that is going to be kind of higher demand, and then take it to the auction house and list it. Let's see if I can hit one real quick. For instance, hitting the shadow counter. So now my trinket here has shadow counter on it. I already know it, but maybe somebody else wants it. So if I take it to the auction house here, the search bar here will pick up the names of enchants. So if I just type in shadow counter, I can see that there are other people following the same advice using these level 15 trinkets, selling the enchant. You can also buy the enchant itself. But if you do the scroll version, you do have to put it on a piece of gear and then extract it yourself. If I wanted to play shadow counter, I would buy this off the auction house, take it to the altar, use an extract to add it to my collection, and then I can now put it on any piece of gear that I find. So speaking of extracts and the other type of currency, one thing that a lot of people don't know is Nozdormu here, the master of time, will provide mystic runes, mystic orbs, which I went over, and mystic droughts, which is going to increase your level and give you extract. And this one's kind of pricey, 5k, but if you're desperate for runes or orbs, this is a decent option. So you can buy these with Marks of Ascension, which you get from basically just playing the game. Another thing you can buy here is the Mystic Scrolls. These will give you a random epic enchant or a random legendary enchant, which you can then sell in the auction house or use yourself. If you're trying to hone in your build, one thing that I do a lot is, for instance, on this build, I'm doing a lot of damage with Thunderclap, right? So what you can do is just type Thunderclap, 2 words, right into the search bar here, and it's going to get everything that pops up with Thunderclap that it's going to be modifying it. So you got your uncommons here, your rares, epics and legendaries. This is a good way of finding enchants that are related to each other and have overlap of skills. The biggest thing with Mystic enchants that people are sleeping on though is down here in enchant presets. Enchant presets they're basically the gear swap macros for enchants. On this character, I only have 2 enchant presets. And currently none are loaded. Let's load one up. All right, so I can save. Boom. So hitting save on the enchants that I currently have is going to create just a preset. Then you can then name and put an icon. So for this one, we're just going to put tests. And then in enchant 2, let's say I want a similar one, but maybe I want more AoE variations. So I'm going to add in, maybe I want Booming Thunder here. And what I'll do is save preset. And this one's going to have Booming Thunder. So I can name this Boom Chunder. What is kind of cool here is I don't need to be near an altar to put this preset on. So currently I have Booming Thunder on. But if I'm in a dungeon or something, I get a new piece of gear. It's going to have a random enchant on it that I don't want. I then just hit load preset. And boom. So then now my enchants switch over. When I'm doing Mythic Pluses, I'll have the AoE version of skills, especially epics. I'll swap out for AoE epics. And then right before a boss, load it. Just with a short cast time, you can hot swap presets. This is really good for leveling. So say you have a preset for Phantom Knives set up. All of the enchants are there, and then you're just getting new pieces of gear as you level. You just hit your Phantom Knives preset here, hit load, and a short 3-second cast, and you're good to go. Presets are very handy and important. It's very nice to be able to swap enchants when you're not next to an altar. Sometimes you don't always have it. And it's also nice to be able to swap on the fly for just a short cast time. So another thing about presets is there is this Mystic Enchanting tab of your spellbook that allows you to keybind and add to your bar Mystic Enchant Preset 1, Mystic Enchant Preset 2, and you can save 1 and 2 here right from the spellbook. So you can bring these onto your bars. What I like to do is add them to this right bar. So now I can swap with the click of a button right from my action bar to switch those enchants on the fly. Quick recap of Mystic Enchanting. You're going to want to use high item levels items when you're reforging. If you want to level your Mystic Enchanting and get new Mystic extracts, you use those extracts to destroy an item that you currently own and consume the Mystic Enchant that is on it, adding it to your enchant collection. From that, you're going to be using your Mystic Orbs to apply those enchants to your items to get the benefit. You can only have 1 legendary enchant, 3 epic enchants, and at max 3 of the same rare or uncommon enchants on. Find those perfect combinations to create your character, and then once you do, save the presets in here, and then you can swap between them on the fly without using an altar. Mystic enchants are very important to Ascension and very important for building your character, and they can be kind of confusing at first. So this video is just going to be purely informative and I hope to alleviate any confusion, and I will see you out there. Thanks for watching. Love you.